It worked! Yay! 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 It worked! Alright, so I immediately need to go to, I'm just going to say for auto, steering, should be setting in. Throw it right there. Alright. Alright, so here we go. No better place to test it than in live competition, huh? Ooh, that's not good. I don't like that at all.
The car in P1 just set the fastest lap, 43.288.
Put the brake force on high. We're getting there. Okay, brake force 75. One lap, 1 point. Oh, I felt like I was going to lose it right there. A little slower.
Just set your fastest lap of the session. The leader is running 44.658. The car in P2 just set the fastest lap, 43.125. now should get us to the finish. You've just set your fastest lap of the session. The car in P1 just set the fastest lap. 42.733.
No! Dang.
You've got some damage. Let's get that fixed. Right side. Clear on the right. Required repairs are...
That sucks. I was running so well
28
too.
seconds.
I think that was some of my fastest laps. I knew it was coming too. Dang, I was feeling good. I was feeling good. Let's see. Oh, not even close. Oh, it hasn't uploaded all my lap times yet. I'm 46 too. Faster than my last lap last night, but I totally just
Boy, that's a mess.
Twenty minutes to go. Repairs are nearly done.
All right.
Go, go, go.
I was in second place. Let him get ahead of me, huh?
The leader's pitting now.
Almost forgot where I was at right there. Could have been real bad.
Car right. Clear on the right. Car on your left. Clear on the left. You got it. Slow car on the right. Car on your left. Clear. The car in P1 just set the fastest lap. 42.483. Ten minutes to go. Time to push. The car in P2 just set the fastest lap. 42.225.
Gosh.
New fastest lap for you.
Man, another point. It's alright.
The leader is running. 42.376.
Duration 1 hour. 610 calories.
Da-da-rum.
That was your fastest lap of the session. The car in front is pitting. You've just set your fastest lap of the session. You got a slow car on the left. You got a slow car on the left. Five minutes to go. The car in P1 just set the fastest lap. 42.146. Car on your left. Clear. Car right. Clear on the right.
I want nothing to do with that right now. Got myself a point for that too.
The car in P2 just set the fastest lap.
Oh.
41.908.
Maybe I can pass him. Refreshing. Nope, not it. Definitely not it. Way slower that way. Excuse me.
White flag, stay smooth. Slow car ahead. There's an incident ahead. Car stopped on the left. Alright, there's checkered flag. Okay, we'll get him next time.
Nah, it is what it is. No, not this one. Is there another? Oh, I gotta look right. Oh.
So I was not looking at the comments. So if I missed something, I'm not going back. Just retype it. No, Prestige not in there. Citizen Kane, I'm not putting old movies in there. Citizen Kane, Casablanca, they're not going in there. I'm not watching them if they come on. It's just not happening. Interstellar is a great movie, but it's not something I want to really watch. Fuck. This is why I come to the community. This is why I come to the chat. The Wolf of Wall Street. How did I not put that on? It's going on the list. Shit. God damn it. This is going to be really hard. Keep in mind. This is my list, but this is going to be different. Like, I love The Color of Money. Like, I don't know. I like that stuff. I would love to shoot pool a couple of days a week. I don't know. Like, Tin Cup's hilarious. Yeah, True Romance is freaking great. Like, so many people have not seen that movie. I really think, and I'm trying to convince Tanner to make this a top 50 list instead of a top 25. 25 is just too freaking hard.
Wars Trump's been bragging.
Favorite movies. I mean, I've seen everything you guys are putting in. Like, if you had to pick your 5 favorite movies, what would they be? Matrix, Gladiator, Law-Abiding Citizen. Oh, Danny Glover's better in Lethal Weapon, P2B. Thank you for the super chat. Lethal Weapon is freaking incredible, everyone. It's incredible. A lot of people love Shawshank. I'm not a Shawshank fan. Spencer with Titanic. Basic Instinct. I wouldn't put it in there. Usual Suspects is a good movie, although I think it's overrated. I would consider throwing Snatch in here. I think I'm one of the few people who think Scarface is a overrated movie. Man, a lot of people really love Inception. I'm gonna have to go watch it again. I can't believe Dougie watched all 3 Lord of the Ring movies the other day with his wife. Boogie Nights I had in there in the original list. I took it out. I should put it back in. Boogie Nights is awesome. Big Short, thank you. I gotta put the Big Short in. If that's on, I'm watching it. Such a good movie. Big Short. Thank you for making this harder on me. I mean, we're gonna try to make Amit watch these movies. There's probably no way that he does, but we'll try. I think my list is pretty freaking legit. Yeah, The Departed is freaking unbelievable. Butterfly Effect's a good movie, actually. Apocalypse Now. Inglourious Bastards. Man, I would consider throwing something like 61 in there because I think it's the best baseball movie, but difficult. I don't think Amit's ever seen Boogie Nights, guys. Gary Miller's Crossing is incredible. Incredible movie. Miller's Crossing. All right. I am going to say it. Fast and Furious 1 is actually very entertaining. Shit, Dazed and Confused. Why do I not have Dazed and Confused in here? Shit. Shit. National Treasure is a really fun movie. I feel like you can watch that at any time. Seven's legit. Last of the Mohicans is a good movie, but I'm not like seeking it out type thing. I am not a Good Will Hunting fan. I don't know what to tell you. Not for me. No, hell no, I'm not removing Top Gun. That'll never happen. Big Lebowski's a great movie. Austin Powers is funny. Shutter Island was good. Well, I'm going to think about this. I am going to look into this more. Catch me if you can. Shit. Gotta have that in there.
constructive for 2026, but it's not without risk. Joining me now, I have Tom Hanlon, U.S. Bank Asset Management Group National Investment Strategist. Tom, great to see you. So let's start right there, Tom. It says it looks like you are constructive. You do note risks. What are those risks in 2026, Tom? What do I need to be aware of?
Josh, the consumer kind of underpins the growth story for 26 as usual in the economy. So the risk that we're looking at is the potential for further weakness in the job market. If we were to see an acceleration in layoffs where consumers become less confident about spending the money that they earn, then that would be a different backdrop that would perhaps not lead to that optimistic outlook for 2026 that we see in markets.
My old friend and colleague Larry Kudlow, Tom, always told me, listen, concentrate on profits. That's what you're focused on, Tom. What does profit growth look like in 2026? And is it broad, Tom? Concentrated? What do you forecast?
Josh, I think that the important thing on Wednesday's trading was that the market hit an all-time high. It wasn't tech that led the rally to the highs. You actually had highs in financials and industrials, and that's that broadening out of the markets to those more cyclical sectors like financials, materials, and industrial stocks. And if you look for earnings growth, two of the top three sectors for growth rates are industrials and materials. So that's kind of broadening out of the economy, broadening out of the market. You also see it now in small cap companies. And Josh, it's almost like a clean sweep where you've got Europe and Asia as well with positive earnings growth for next year.
There's some strategists come on the show, Tom. Honestly, they sound a bit cautious about next year. The reason they'll say valuation, they'll say we're looking to kind of stretch here. Granted, we all know, Tom, valuation not a timing tool, but I'm curious what you make of that dynamic.
I think valuation can hold up here. I mean, as long as interest rates are kind of stable to downward bias, inflation is stable to downward bias, that usually holds inflation up pretty well. And we're not looking for for valuation to improve from here. We're just looking to ride earnings growth through higher stock prices. You've already got that revaluation in European equities, for example, where they were really kind of subdued, and you got kind of a revaluation there. And now you're looking at 10% profit growth in Europe and Japan, high teens in emerging markets, and then broadly across the board in the U.S. So we don't think there's a risk here of the multiple as long as inflation stays in check.
Tom, where's the Fed in all this? What's your base case? How many cuts next year? And does the market require cuts, Tom, to move higher?
Yeah, our base case would be, two potential cuts in 26. That gets the Fed down to roughly a neutral rate between 3 and 3.5%. And then they can kind of gauge whether they need to move off of that neutral. Again, they're looking for inflation to glide down to their path. They're looking for the labor market to kind of hold in there. That will kind of change their perspective on the year. We'll get some insights into that next week when we get the minutes from their last meeting there in December. We'll get some insights into what they were thinking there as they got to the end of the year.
Tom, another thing you call out here, you see AI shifting from spend to profit. That's interesting. What are the signs, what are the signals, Tom, as investors I should be watching to track that trend?
Yeah, investors are going to see the companies that are making investments in AI, whether they're tech companies kind of building their own portfolio or companies in other sectors using that tool to improve profitability or improve their productivity. They're going to look for the return on that investment. So it's no longer, are you using AI or do you have an AI strategy? It's what's the return on that invested capital? And tech companies have had those really strong profit margins, across the large cap tech space. They're going to look for that to hold in there. and look for those other sectors like healthcare companies and financial services and other businesses that are investing in these tools to drive productivity.
What do you make of healthcare, Tom? That's another sector I've heard a number of strategists come on, pound the table for. Traditionally, you would think of healthcare, okay, it's a valuation play, it's a defensive play. Is that still how investors are thinking about it, or no? Is it increasingly kind of offense and defense there?
Yeah, the healthcare sector has almost always been that blend of offense and defense. You've got the more defensive industries within there, pharmaceuticals, but then you've also got biotech inside of healthcare. We think that AI in particular can be a benefit to things like insurance companies to, again, drive further profitability and productivity there. So you can utilize healthcare as both offense and defense. In general, not really looking for those defensive characteristics, Josh, as we've shared with you. We've got a fairly optimistic outlook for the economy. We still want to be more growth oriented, but again, there's plenty of benefits from AI within the healthcare sector.
Tom, you also say here, income is back. Walk me through that. Where are the opportunities for fixed income investors listening right now?
Yeah, so rates holding up here. 10-year Treasury at 4%. Off of that, you can get municipal bonds that, if you're a high tax investor, those tax equivalent yields can be upwards of 6% on an apples to apples basis. There's lots of opportunities in the municipal bond market. Within the taxable market, we continue to like mortgages that aren't backed by federal agencies. Homeowners continue to have solid fundamentals and strong equity in their homes and job prospects. So that underpins that, so you can kind of clip that extra coupon from those mortgages that aren't backed by the federal agencies of the government.
Final time, listen, I have to ask because it's dominating the headlines today. I mean, the metals just keep working, Tom. Gold, silver, platinum, jumping to all-time highs here. What do you make of this run, Tom? And if we're going to chalk it up to some combination of geopolitics, central bank buying, interest rates declining, do we expect those tailwinds to continue next year?
Yeah, those tend to be perhaps less fundamental tailwinds. If you look at the metals, even outside of precious into industrials, it's about kind of where you are in the economic cycle. We look to areas kind of within that real asset category, that physical asset category, more into the utility companies, the pipelines, and the railroads and other places where you're building out that infrastructure. And then you have the income streams coming off of that infrastructure, whether it's gas pipelines or utility companies or what have you, because you can see tremendous volatility when the central bank buying starts to lessen, when there's less fear of inflation that comes out of that trade.
Tom, always great to see you, to have you on the show. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, Josh, for the opportunity.
Well, precious metals rallying here with gold and silver hitting new records as crypto is left in the dust. Here with a look at these alternative assets is our very own Inez Ferreira. Inez.
Yeah, Josh, as you just mentioned, precious metals absolutely on fire. I mean, you look at gold right now, it's up more than 70% year to date. You're also looking at silver, that's up 165% year to date, and platinum up 175%. And now compare that picture with the crypto scenario, where a year to date chart of crypto shows you this: Bitcoin down 7% year to date, unable to recover from its around 30% drop from its all-time high in October. Ether down more than 12% year to date. So you now have metals investors that are basically saying it's time for the crypto crowd to switch to the metals. It's less volatile. There's more liquidity when it comes to gold. You also have been having some prominent Bitcoin bulls that have been noting that Bitcoin has been trading like a high-risk tech stock and not a neutral reserve asset recently. But I will say that you do have some strategists that are noting that after this big decline that we've seen with Bitcoin, you probably will be seeing a bounce in January. That's because if Bitcoin goes towards its third month of losses, if December is a down month for Bitcoin, well, then that has only happened 15 times. And that generally sets up the token for a bounce in January. That's according to Sean Farrell from Fundstrat. So he is optimistic that we may see a near-term bounce in January, and also as investors sort of allocate their portfolios, allocate some crypto in their portfolio long-term. We have seen, though, Wall Street that has been paring back their estimates, their price targets for the end of 2026. Sean Farrell Fundstrat has 115,000 by the end of next year, and then you've got Standard Chartered that has 150,000 price target for Bitcoin by the end of 2026. Josh.
All right, Ez, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now time for some of today's trending tickers. We're going to start here with Target. Shares jumping today. It's after the Financial Times reported that activist investor Tom's Capital has built a stake in the big box retailer. Stock is up nearly 3% on that news, even as Target remains down about 25% over the past year, following a tough stretch marked by weaker sales and lost market share. Target says it remains focused on getting back to growth, while details of the activist stake have not yet been disclosed. Oil moving lower as investors react to progress in Ukraine peace talks. Prospect of a deal could allow more Russian crude back onto the global market, adding to supply concerns. Crude oil prices are hovering around $57 a barrel, with Brent near 60. Traders continuing to weigh geopolitics against expectations of a global oil glut in 2026. And shares of Nvidia rising after announcing its largest deal ever, agreeing to buy assets from AI chip startup Grok for a reported $20 billion. The move deepens NVIDIA's push into AI inferencing as it looks to extend its dominance beyond chips. Grok, founded by former Google TPU engineers, was valued at just under $7 billion in a recent funding round. NVIDIA says it's licensing Grok's technology and bringing key talent on board, not acquiring the company outright, as competition in AI hardware continues to intensify. Well, coming up, we get an analyst take on the best positioned software stocks heading into 2026 next on Market Domination. Software stocks have underperformed the broader market this year as investors worry that AI could replace some of the established apps. So what's the outlook for the cohort leading into 2026? Here with his insights is Steve Koenig, Macquarie, U.S. Head of Software and Services Research. Steve, always great to see you. Before we get to 2026, Steve, let's just take a beat on 2025, my friend. I just want to look at the IGV, Steve. So that's the ETF that tracks software. You're up about 7% this year, Steve, and that, of course, really underperforms the SPX, the QQQ. I mean, what is the concern for investors about that software sector that you know so well, Steve?
Yeah, happy holidays, Josh. Thanks for having me on the program. Yeah, it's interesting when you look at the IGV, which is weighted towards the biggest cap software names, definitely underperformed and more than an equal weighted software index. We have our own index of like 40 software growth stocks, and we equal weight our index, and that index has lagged a few percentage points, the S&P, over the last 12 and 24 months, but it's pretty darn close. And I think that the dichotomy you're seeing there is like the large cap SaaS names have been the object of some investor skepticism, especially since I'd say late summer about like what AI could do to those stocks, in the long run. And they have to prove themselves, that they're going to benefit from AI tailwinds as opposed to see AI headwinds. But there are a lot of the kind of the smaller. When I say small, we're in software. We're talking like 30 billion market cap, right? But these software names like Autodesk and Datadog and Zscaler that are clearly benefiting from AI or poised to benefit from it and have some momentum there. So that's why you're seeing some of the larger SaaS companies not having done so well. But all in all, it's been a pretty good year if you look at the growth software complex, more broadly.
Steve, it's interesting because you call out here what you call optical deceleration in September-October financial results for a lot of these software names you cover. What do you mean by that, Stephen? And how do we know that was just optical, that was just noise and not the start of some broader trend we should be concerned about?
Yeah. Well, So when we look at like the second derivative of subscription revenue, which is basically like how much subscription revenue did they add from one quarter to the next, it was kind of mixed in Q3. But I think that's because some of the Q2 comparisons were actually pretty darn good, and Q2 was surprisingly good despite some of the tariff uncertainties. So you just had some harder compares in Q3, and when we look at some of the fundamentals, some of the drivers that are correlated with end market demand from enterprises and software, things are looking pretty good right now. So hyperscaler revenue is accelerating, and that's a pretty good indicator of any sort of SaaS company or cloud infrastructure software company that runs on the hyperscalers. And in addition, when we look across our 40 company software index, we count their job postings every month, and their hiring is actually accelerated in Q3 and in July, August, September, and October. And so I think that ramping hiring kind of bodes well for the software company's view of their own outlook. So I think momentum's actually pretty good in the space, and I think we're barring any major market corrections, we're set up for hopefully a pretty good 12 months ahead in software.
So some positive signals, Steve. I'm curious, how would you broadly characterize valuations for the space?
Yeah. Valuations are about at their 2-year average. Again, looking at our kind of 40 companies growth software index, which we think is more representative than a large cap weighted index. And the valuations in terms of EV to revenue sitting, I believe, just a tad below 10 times EV to revenue. And they've been in a range, plus or minus 1.5 turns from that average over the last 2 years, but they're sitting right at their average now. So I think valuations don't look stretched, and so I think that provides the opportunity for the companies that are positioned well and have good momentum in terms of enterprise demand to do well.
Well, let's talk about some of those names, Steve, that you say they're positioned well. One name I know you like, Datadog. Why is Datadog a buy here?
Yeah. So Datadog is the pioneer in cloud observability, which is basically assuring the performance of your full cloud application stacks from the time you're developing those applications to when you're putting them into production. And Datadog really pioneered this market for the cloud. There were legacy vendors that did some of the components of observability for on-premise applications, but Datadog created this cloud observability market, and it's an essential tool. Now, that market has a lot of do-it-yourself and a lot of open source, so it's still consolidating. And the good news is it's consolidating around Datadog, and that market tends to grow at around the same pace as hyperscaler revenue, which has been accelerating. So I think that's a good sign, and then Datadog share gains in this space are a good sign. So I think they're poised to do continue to do well here. And I think the other thing that's going on here in their Q3, we saw acceleration across all their customer cohorts, but particularly in the AI native cohort, these AI privates. And the AI privates, they're using Datadog's LLM observability product, but not just that, they're using the entire Datadog product portfolio to make their cloud stacks work. And I think that's a good sign. I think people were relieved that OpenAI renewed their big contract in Q3. And I think Datadog is poised to continue to do well with good momentum ahead.
Now I only have about a minute left, Steve, but I got to ask, I'm just curious, Salesforce, stock is down about 20% this year. Even so, Steve, you're telling your clients, do not step in here. How come? And what might change your mind about Mr. Mark Benioff's company? Yeah.
Well, we're at a neutral. We think it's kind of fairly valued, and you're right. They've been under pressure in terms of, their ability to to add new sales production to their subscription revenue. That could be turning around here. We saw actually net new annual order value and metric they have accelerate in Q3. And I think what's happening there is that they've been adding sales capacity. And they've got some, their agentic AI product is actually starting to bear some fruit. They've had, a couple tries at it. It's been a little disappointing when it got started about 14, 16 months ago, but we're starting to see some real traction there, some real revenue come from that product. But overall, I think sales capacity, hiring, kind of getting over some of the tough comparisons they had from the post-pandemic boom. So they could be poised to turn around, but we want to see a little bit more evidence. You know, one quarter does not a trend make. So we'd like to see that, you know, kind of acceleration in annual order value continue.
Steve, always great to see you. Appreciate your time and those picks. Thank you.
Likewise, Josh. Happy holidays.
You too. Well, markets are fighting for gains in this second day of the Santa Claus rally period. We're looking at ways you can play the market with the options playbook sponsored by Tasty Trade. And joining me now, I've got Bob Lang, explosive options technical analyst. Bob, always great to see you. I know you got 2 trades for us, Bob, but before we get there, I am just curious. We're wrapping up the year. We're heading into 2026. How do you want to be broadly positioned here, Bob?
Great to see you, Josh. Happy holidays to you and the team over there at Yahoo. Well, I really want to be positioned with a lot of cash coming into 2026, and I'll tell you why. It's because market is very complacent right now. We see the volatility index covering near 15%, which is somewhat low. We did reach below 15%, which was the low for the year just last week, and you know, it makes me a little bit nervous when markets are really complacent. You know, there's an old saying is that, you know, once everybody's bought everything in the market, who's left? And it's just the sellers. So I think having a lot of cash and taking some money off the table here, nothing wrong with taking some profits, and we've been seeing people do it today, and I think it's going to happen into next week as well too. Doesn't mean that the Santa Claus rally, which started on Wednesday, is going to be a poor result. In fact, you know, if you look past history, Josh, the last 2 years, the Santa Claus rally has been negative. We've never had 3 years in a row of negative Santa Claus rally. So while it still may be positive, it may not be as strong as people think.
All right, Bob, that's the broad outlook. Let's get to some trades as well. Let's start with Micron. This stock, Bob, is up about 240% in 2025, and analysts still love it, Bob. Even so, you got nearly 90% have a buy on the name. What's the trade?
Well, you know, Josh, I like a company that tends to prove itself with earnings. And when Micron reported earnings last week, they did just that. And I got to tell you something. They blew the doors off the earnings report, off of margins, off of revenue, off of earnings, on guidance as well too. So, you know, they hit it all out of the park. It was a triple header for the stock of Micron, and of course it was rewarded with some upside. The nice thing about Micron, Josh, is that the stock followed through to the upside after a very strong day post earnings. So, you know, I think the stock has got some more upside to it. I think $300 is kind of a slam dunk here. It's only about 5.5–6% away from the current price. $300 would be a good spot. It's a Fibonacci retracement level that I looked at, but I still think that it's got some more upside beyond that. Why is that? It's because we saw some good strong call volume in the February and the March 300 calls. People are looking for some good upside in the stock in the beginning of the year of 2026. So I'm looking at a March 300 call selling at about 28.50, Josh. It's about 10% of the price of the stock. Seems a little bit rich right now, but I'll tell you what, the stock is poised to make some big moves, and we've seen some big money coming into Micron. So I like this one right here.
Now let's end here on another one. I want to get your take on Kava. That is a different looking chart, Bob. Stock is down about 50% this year. What do you see there?
Yeah, boy, the stock really tanked hard earlier this year and into the summertime, and they couldn't get out of their way, and the sellers really took control of the stock. But more recently, Josh, we've seen the stock really pick up the pace here. We've had some good volume. We see some good options flow. Look, it's certainly not a incredibly bullish chart, much like a Micron is, but still, I think there's some upside here only because it's heavily shorted. There's big short interest in the stock, and when the buyers get control of this thing, the short sellers tend to run for cover and start buying the stock, and you get an explosion to the upside here. So I'm looking for a March 60 call here, Josh, for a run up to about $73. That's the 200-day moving average on Kava, which we should see some resistance at that level, but still a nice move up to $73, $74, $75 over the next couple of months was going to yield a nice return on these March 60 calls.
Bob, always great to see you, my friend. Happy holidays.
Thanks, Josh. Great to see you, too.
We are wrapping up today's market domination. Don't go anywhere. We've got you covered with all the action. Following the closing bell, stay tuned for market domination. Overtime. Hello and welcome to Market Domination Overtime. Let's take a quick look at how stocks closed out the day here. Listen, quiet trading day, not too surprising. Day after Christmas, no big earnings prints or economic reports or Fed speak. So looking at the Dow, down about 20 points. The S&P 500, your broad gauge, also going to be ending here basically flat on the day. The tech-heavy NASDAQ is down about 0.1%. Small caps, Russell 2000, those are down about 0.5%. Mag 7 not doing much today. NVIDIA worth calling out though. That edged higher, reaching that licensing deal with Grok. That certainly made some headlines. I'll look at the bond market as well. The 10-year treasuries, little change here at 4.13. More moves in the metals though. That was worth calling out. You did see gold, silver, platinum. That blistering run just continues. Those jump into all-time highs in today's trade. Well, heading into 2026, tech investors are grappling with a different setup than a year ago. Stretched valuations, rising volatility, and questions about when AI adoption actually turns into enterprise profits. For more, we're bringing in now Ted Mortensen, tech strategist at Baird. Ted, always great to see you. So maybe start high level, Ted. You know, we look at the tech sector, the AI trade and trend, as you know here, big winner in 2025. I guess now what, Ted? What do we expect in 2026? What do you think risk reward looks like given where valuations are at?
Well, Josh, Happy New Year, by the way, and thanks for having me. You asked the right question. And right now, I think if you look at 26, we're going to have a tremendous amount of volatility. The AI trade is very well understood, at least through my client base. You look at the infrastructure build really outpacing enterprise adoption. And that's the issue. We're going to spend at a 40% clip here for the next couple years. The SOX is up, the semiconductor index is up almost 48% year to date. And if you look at the IGV or the software index, that's been the big laggard, only up 7.8%. So all I think of this is understood. As we look into 26, there's three issues that I'm looking at very, very closely, and we can go into that if you'd like to.
Yeah, I'd like to go into that. And maybe, Ted, on that point you just brought up, I just want to drill into that. This mismatch, as you say, between the data center build out and the real enterprise AI adoption. When would you expect, Ted, then to see that enterprise AI adoption story play out? I mean, is that a 2026 story, Ted? Is it 2027? What do you think?
Right now, it's hard to nail down, but I don't think it's 26. The enterprise, there's only roughly 30% of the global 2,000 that's ready to move to Gen AI. 70% is still going through data cloud migration and data cleansing to get into an LLM. So we've got, enterprise, it always takes so much longer than the street is looking at. That mismatch probably goes into 27, 28 is my guess.
And what are the signs and signals, Ted, as investors I would be looking for to say, okay, now we're really seeing AI monetization, not just AI marketing? I mean, am I looking at software spend? Am I watching the cloud businesses? Like, what should I be looking for, Ted?
I think it's well understood that the cloud titans are going to see it in token growth as well as just their overall cloud growth. Where I think it's really instrumental to see enterprise adoption is via your last few guests is in the software area, specifically on the agentic plays, whether it be a CRM, a ServiceNow, a HubSpot, and then the whole security sector has moved to AI. I think if you see robust net new ARR, that's going to be a very good indication of enterprise adoption.
Another theme that I wanted to take on, what you wrote about, was the massive capex by tech giants. But of course, we've seen these concerns creeping up, at least with some names, Ted, financial stress, debt loads, and I'm just curious how you're thinking through that dynamic.
Well, my clients do not want to play names that are negative free cash flow. This is one of these cycles. Because of this mismatch in infrastructure, it's very capital intensive on this infrastructure build. So the only real names that really have the businesses behind it to really fund the capex is Microsoft and Google. And that, Google's up 87% year to date. So with that, I think there's a propensity to just watch and have some dry powder. I don't have a lot of interest in some of the negative free cash flow names at this point. And it's obvious, I think, as we go forward that you're getting indications that whether it be Anthropic or whether it be OpenAI or SpaceX, that the debt market is tapped and it's not big enough, quite frankly, to fund the infrastructure build. So all of these next generation companies are going to have to tap the equity market. And my worry there is very simple. After doing this for a few decades, is
are you
when
looking
you have
for a
4
beating?
or 5 major tech companies that have to raise just
Get
a
to it,
boatload of
maggot,
capital.
or I'll
OpenAI has
send
been
you to
rumored
the sofa
$100
pits.
billion. My worry is that we get sometime in 26 where all these guys come public at the
There's
same
work
time
that
and we
needs
drain,
doing.
quote unquote, the equity
Get to it,
liquidity
maggot,
lake, if
or
you
I'll
will.
send you to the
And
sofa
my
pits.
PMs are going to be forced to
You
sell some of their
sluggard.
winners to
There's
fund
work
some of
that
these
needs
positions
doing.
in these new companies.
Another theme you call out, Ted, rising component costs, memory, networking. How concerned should investors be about that, Ted? What could that ultimately mean for margins, for end demand?
That's a $1 million question right there. I think it's under everybody's radar screen. I listen to over 70 conference calls during an earnings season and try to stitch together tech. And for some reason, this is under the radar screen of most. And if you look at the Micron report last week, DRAM, which is really the high performance bandwidth memory that goes into data centers, that ASP, their ASPs were up 20% sequentially for DRAM last quarter. That's a lot of pricing leverage, but in my career, I've not seen ASPs up this amount. Then you listen to the Dell call and, a lot of people are not out of their silos. They need to look at tech from a broad sector standpoint. The CEO of Dell basically, in a nutshell, said, I've got enough components for Q4, but I'm going to see shortages and I'm going to have to raise prices because of components. I think where the street really needs to now focus on is names like in the PC supply chain and the handset area. They're just not going to be able to get a lot of required memory for their products because the AI spend is so dramatic. Now with these prices up, I think you're going to see a lot of elasticity of demand.
Finally, Ted, I want to just switch gears here hard. But given your background, Naval Academy, naval aviator, Ted, I thought of you when I saw this. I just wanted your take on this news. Chinese government sanctions 20 U.S. defense companies. And apparently, Ted, this is retaliation for Trump's, approval of weapons sales to Taiwan. I'm just curious, given the background, what do you make of that headline? I mean, American defense contractors not doing a ton of business, of course, in China. So what do you make of it? What was the point and purpose of that, do you think, by Beijing?
Well, the street discounts the whole geopolitical area, which is really a red herring going forward into 26. If you look at the China and U.S. relationship, if you don't get AI right, you're gonna risk your economic development and defense. The defense area is all pivoting, whether it be drones or related AI weaponry. The defense budgets are shifting very, very quickly on a dime to AI. So when we look at this sanctioning on both sides on entities that they view as competitive, this is really economic warfare at its best. And it's discounted, it hasn't mattered in years, but it's going, as we really go on a collision course with the overall China economic and defense standpoint, I think it's going to become much more of an issue in 26 and 27 if it gets out of hand and we don't get back to kind of mutual insurance on the trade. If we find a happy medium, we're going to generate some kind of new cold.
Private credit markets anxiety simmering as a number of business development companies have stumbled this year. Times' Jared Blickery takes a closer look in the latest installment of Stocks in Transit.
we just got a couple of nasty credit scares on the tape. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon is calling them cockroaches. If you see one, there are probably more hiding. So investors are asking a very simple question. With the Fed still in cutting mode, are we heading into a safer environment for stocks or into a new round of credit trouble? B of A's Savita Subramanian looks at the data and says we might be due for a credit cycle, not in 2008 or not like 2008, but a phase where borrowers get squeezed and lenders, they get pickier. So the top gun question of the day that we're answering on Stocks in Translation, as we fly into 2026, is the air still clear or are we quietly entering the credit danger zone? Let's start with what a credit cycle even is. It's simply the rise and the fall of available credit in the economy, specifically in bonds and loans that companies use to borrow. When money is easy, everyone gets a loan. And when money tightens, only the strongest borrowers make the cut. If you've ever seen your credit card limit go up in the good times and then get cut back, you have lived a mini credit cycle. Now to the big questions for stocks. This Foursquare shows how stocks have historically responded to different Fed and credit backdrops. When many of us hear that the Fed is cutting rates, they think green light. But B of A reminds us that if the Fed is playing catch up and the economy is actually heading into trouble, the worst box for equity is the bottom right one. That's when the Fed is cutting while the credit is tightening, the real danger zone. And that's when growth is slowing. That's when lenders are pulling back at the same time, even as rates are falling. So earnings get squeezed and investors start hitting the sell button. The open question for 2026 is whether we have drifted into that box. So what makes this potential credit cycle different from the global financial crisis? Well, back in the GFC, the problem sat inside bank loans and housing. Today, the risk has shifted to private lenders and shadow credit. Instead of housing and banks at the center, B of A flags growth, media, and cable borrowers as the new hotspots. And whereas public bond loan markets were the story last time, this time around, private credit markets are seeing higher default rates than traditional high yield. So where are we right now on the stress meter? This blue line right here is our stress barometer. It's the price of a 10-year Treasury ETF, IEF, divided by the junk bond ETF, HYG, and this is going back to 2018. Think of it very roughly as a VIX for corporate credit. When the line spikes, investors are dumping risky corporate bonds and hiding in treasuries, the danger zone. When it drifts lower, credit is generally easier. And that big spike in the middle shows what happened in the early pandemic when credit market froze, right here. But if you look where we are at the far right of the chart, we're actually off of the 2025 lows, but still pretty muted versus history. The biggest spike in 2025 is the post-Liberation Day risk-off moment. But those two cockroaches Jamie Dimon was talking about didn't register much, so it's quite possible they were just one-offs as opposed to warnings of systemic risk. So what belongs on a credit danger zone watch list? First, watch high yield bonds versus treasuries. Are investors still willing to own risky corporate debt, or are they running back into the arms of Uncle Sam? Then keep an eye on regional bank stocks, ticker CARET KRX. These are the lenders to small businesses and also local real estate. If they start rolling over while the Fed is cutting, that is a red flag. And watch headlines for media and cable debt troubles, That's one of Savita's new risk areas, and it's where streaming battles and cord cutting meet higher interest costs. Then, are weaker companies still able to refinance and roll their debt? Cracks show up in smaller, weaker companies first. And then finally, don't forget Main Street.
Does the name Michael Mason ring any bells?
Mason isn't just an assassin. He's a precision instrument. He was one of the first of elite operatives.
Then what happened?
I bring you supplies week after week, yet you never leave here. Why is that? Most people just say thank you.
Don't ever come up here again.
We have a retinol match.
Send them.
What's happening?
Don't make a sound. Don't come out until I come for you.
Weapons free. Kill talk gunfight.
Who is that? Who are these guys?
I'm up the reservation. With baggage. You need to throw everything you've got at him.
Are they going to arrest you?
It's not the police I'm worried about. The people that are doing this broke the only rule that matters, did them? And this. One hand there, and one there. When you use a weapon, you never operate from fear.
Put it down, please.
His profile's been altered.
Our target is not who we thought. I want him taken in alive.
I need a way out for her. She's just a kid who was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Come on!
Look at you. No country, no badge. You're gone.
I'm gone. Unshackled.
5 years since the end of the world. Everybody says that this is the new normal. But our bunker's holding on, doing the best we can. I know it's a little late, but happy belated Valentine's Day.
I love it. We should discuss our contingency plans.
We can't stay here. There's no life from here.
The crater. Do you believe it's real?
They say that it could be humanity's last chance, but it is impossible to get to.
I promise you. I'm gonna get you to that crater.
The world is a dangerous place now.
There's gotta be another way.
You got this.
We're gonna keep going.
I don't know what awaits you at the crater, but I am convinced
Grab onto something!
it is where the world will be reborn.
Går det din tur? Er du klar?
Hei, hva gjør du her?
Jeg er på tilsyn. Ja, for du jobber på havforskninga. Det er riktig.
Du må få stengt ned det oppførselsanlegget før det er for sent. Fjorden er ikke sånn som den var.
It's the perfect place for our superior salmon to grow up.
I heard the sonic sound treatment can stress the salmon.
Yes, it can. And it can even disrupt the entire ecosystem in the fjord.
What do you mean by disrupt the ecosystem?
And there's no chance of that.
Vi fant et skutevrak I dag.
Skilpadene kan få meg fuck opp hele fjorden her.
Jeg så videoen du sendte.
Hva du tenker?
Det har skjedd før det.
Er det faren din som driver anlegget?
We are planning to triple our production.
Det noe ute I fjorden. Den kommer ikke til å gi seg.
You managed to get most of it on the paper this time. It's good job, buddy. Hi, cars are out. Hereby declare the 23 will be the best year yet. Let's be honest, babe, it's not a very high bar to clear.
I didn't know any of you were still alive. What was it like to lose everything in a day?
Her Tom didn't die in a day. The gods are not that kind. Okay, this does not look like this is gonna end well. For you guys.
Do others on your planet have powers like you?
No, it's a pretty small group of two.
What Superman like?
He sees the good in everyone. And I see the truth.
After years of war, no one could stand between my men. And home. Not even me.
Are you looking for something, friend?
me you will come back.
What if I can't?
Hey! This isn't a robbery! I am from the future! And all of this goes horribly wrong. I come from a future which is totally, completely fucked. And I'm here to set it right.
Are any of you even listening to me?
You look homeless, bro. Fuck you two. I come from a nightmare apocalypse. This is the height of fucking fashion.
What we're dealing with doesn't interface with reality.
AI? Isn't that a thing already?
It gets a lot worse, honey.
Who's joining me? Who's ready to save the future? The revolution begins tonight!
Good luck, have fun, don't die.
Excuse me?
How do you do?
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. You're in for a really weird night.
Am I to have a word with you?
Good shot, baby.
Can't you leave me to my misery? I don't know if you can help me.
Welcome, Panem, to the glorious reaping of District 12. Twice the number of tributes. Twice the glory. It's time for the second quarter quell. That's the 50th Hunger Games!
did you need?
I think these games are gonna be different.
Uno mas, thanks.
You're Johnny Cage. I loved Citizen Cage when I was a kid.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
They should do a reboot.
Nobody wants that. Shit went out in the
What do you
90s.
need?
Johnny Cage, you have been chosen to fight. Tell me you're not some crazy fans. How are you doing that?
Are you coming or what?
Where the hell am I?
It's called Mortal Kombat. It's a fighting tournament. To the death.
Fuck that. This is a war for the fate of your world. You dickheads in or what? I'm not some champion. I don't have transformer arms. Or shoot lightning bolts. This shit's got nothing to do with me. I'm an actor.
I find you annoying.
Not the face.
Hey, and hear me out.
It's time to become the hero you were meant to be.
All right, you big ugly fuck. It's showtime. Get over here!
Only the strong survive.
Finish him!
Are you shitting me? You don't have any powers? Just incredibly handsome.
What can I do for you?
Woe to me. I'm sorry. Did you need something?
been broken many times. Remember the stories I told you? About the awful things happening up north. Entire towns ravaged by an enemy we did not yet understand. It's not easy surviving out here. We have to be careful. We have to be smart. It's your best time yet.
We can't hold the line anymore.
Mom, where are we going? Dad, where are we going?
Stay safe. Come on.
I love you, Willa.
This is what you trained for, Willa. The world isn't broken, Willa. It has you in it.
Sharon, so what are we driving?
If you can guess, I'll give you the keys to it.
Oh, Chevy Chevette, racing green.
Right color.
That is a beautiful car. I need to be in your line of work. I'm real good at reading people.
And what have you read about me?
Okay. You look like a person who has secrets. You got the cars, the clothes, but you can't seem to look me in the eye.
Start by handing me your phone.
You're looking at robberies of jewels, money, or high-value items in the last 4 years. Now, remove every robbery where there was DNA left at the scene. I think all of these are the same guy, and he hits every time along the 101 freeway.
I came here to make you a business proposition. I've worked at the same company for 11 years. You're a VP when you should be a partner. Those high-value items your company insures, I occasionally make them disappear, and no one gets hurt. I wouldn't die for an insurance company. Get in. There's water in the trunk.
Here's a courier carrying watches and gems, and the buyer's paying cash. Looking at $11 million in one room, 3 of which I'll be taking. Doesn't matter how much money you make, it's never enough.
I'll know when I have enough.
How?
He's planning something new. Father.
My dad always says you gotta break through eggs.
You tell him I see you again in the boat. Yeah.
As smart as our guy is, he can't help but form a pact.
I'm getting close. I know it. Some of us will feel right.
Nice car. You into cars?
Yeah, I prefer the old American ones.
I used to dream of having a Mustang when I was a kid.
Steve McQueen.
You ever see the Thomas Crown Affair? Well, he's a high-class thief in it.
I like all the chases.
You're about to break every rule you've ever lived by. What makes this job different?
There comes a moment when you realize you don't have as much time as you thought.
I got this. We're 1196 on.
Officer down! Stay with me,
My name is Detective Christopher Raven. We live in a world where murderers walk free, in a justice system bogged down by red tape and human error. That all ends with mercy. A judicial system powered by artificial intelligence with access to every camera, cell phone, and database. If you commit a capital crime, you have 90 minutes to prove your innocence to an AI judge, or you will be executed.
Detective Raven, I'm Judge Maddox, and this is the Mercy Capital Court.
Hold on, just wait a second.
You're before this court today charged with the murder of your wife.
I loved my wife. I didn't hurt her.
If you are innocent, prove it.
I need us to walk the scene. No, I have something here.
We gotta go old school.
That's a bomb. Get me out of here!
You're running out of time.
Wow, thank you for that.
Bring that back. Pause. Play it again. Can you find out who that is?
Do you want to uncover the truth? Even if the truth is dark.
Do you honestly think that I killed my wife?
I think there's more that you're not revealing.
We ready?
This is a memorial to the dead.
So, is this all you're doing?
It is.
Are you Old Nick?
Old Nick? You mean Satan?
Yes. Old Nick released his demons unto the world of man. And the world of man fell before the demons.
How can I be of service?
I remember details, events and people. The world had an order.
What's your name?
Spike?
No. I think your name is Jimmy.
The foundations. They seemed unshakable. When the infected attack, what do they see? I believe the infection can be treated. And now, a leap into the unknown.
I don't hear anything.
Well, I definitely heard it. Well, not definitely. I mean, I was like aware of it, you know what I mean? Like I was having an argument with my brain about it.
You are very chatty.
This place was military storage back in the day. You want to open it?
No, I'm good.
We're getting a temperature breach alert from a decommissioned facility.
Some of us have encountered this before.
I'm sure.
we created a new species. I don't feel so good.
Jesus Christ!
I gotta get out of here.
This thing is spreading.
Are you kidding me? That's fungus. Will mutate and spread.
That fucking deer just took the fucking elevator.
You two may have started the night minimum wage guards, but you're a green light team now.
That is a nuke. What are you, nuts?
No, I'm ambitious.
That's not natural.
I need someone I can trust.
This young girl is...
My daughter. The CIA wants her. Dead or alive, they don't care. And the Russians, just dead.
Right.
I really need you to help me find her before this gets out of hand.
To all my fellow interns, my code name is Catalyst. And right now, you need to know the following. You, like me, were raised by the internship. I'm reaching out over a matter of life or death. They're coming for you.
How can I be of service?
Who are you?
I'm with Catalyst.
Get in!
We're here to see
I'd like to take a moment of your
There's no
time.
blood here. In a place like this, there's always a plan.
Forced us to fight, trained us to kill. It made us what we are today. So, we can choose to hide and mope and pretend we're something that we're not. Personally, I'm really tired of hiding.
Tell Vlad to call me.
You find Catalyst, you find the interns, and you find the mole.
Unless the Russians find them first.
I put our van at the end of the trail, so if any of us get separated, that's where we're meeting up.
I'm an ally.
How can we trust you?
You really have any other options? Game on.
Sweat team.
Let's go meet your mom.
Someone set us up.
Were you just gonna shoot me now? Did you miss me?
So, there's been some developments. We have a few more questions. Last time we spoke, you described the job as follows. Your unit works the dope game. Drugs, guns.
Knock, knock, behind me, PD.
How can I be of service?
5 cops just magically appeared on my doorstep. I've been better.
Don't mind if we come inside.
But the majority of your work consisted of cash seizures.
I don't have any drugs.
The dog's not trained to detect drugs. The dog's trained to detect money. How much was the tip that came in? 300 grand. That's a $20 million rip. It'd be so much easier if we just stole this money. I swear to God.
You should just take whatever money you want and walk away before this goes really bad for all of us.
No one needs to die tonight. You have 30 minutes to get out of that house.
What we do right now and who we talk to matters. The longer we stick around here, the dicier this shit's gonna be.
Tell me what's fucking going on.
Do you think I want to jack this rip?
I don't trust you right now, and that's a fucking problem.
Any ideas?
Who might want this money?
$20 million. Where do you want to start?
INTGG. What does it mean?
Are we the good guys?
Welcome to Normal, Minnesota. A charming, unassuming town where time moves slow and a friendly face is always just around the corner. You'll never be far from our local mayor, dedicated deputy sheriff, a friendly mailman, cheerful store owners, cozy eateries. Oh, and our town booze.
Man.
Life in Normal is quiet, peaceful, predictable. Until it isn't.
Why are they shooting at you?
I'm at a loss.
Jesus.
That's not where I was aiming.
Welcome to Normal.
It flows through my veins.
出门答应过，永远不再找我。那会儿我还没来呢。
有草流氓是吧？
行，干什么？都来这孩子。那孩子还能活着回来，重要吗？咱们749，死谁都是应该的。遗书都写好了吗？写了。我绝不跟你们合作。
留下来就他妈是个死！
没有我，要带的话。
749的历史上，共有28位英雄献出生命。你们曾经是749的孩子，你们也将会是749的英雄。我请求你们，请你们为749而战。
Johnny Harris has a what being a billionaire really looks like 3 days ago. And there's a giant gold. It looks like a Mr. Beast thumbnail. Look at this. This is like this is beastified, bro. He had a fucking golden watch, golden helicopter, golden yacht.
This is what $100 million looks like. 100 million $1 bills. Look at this.
Sheesh.
Okay, but watch this. This is what $100 billion looks like. Whoa. That's $100 billion. There's like 19 people on Earth that have this much money. Oh, and by the way, one of these guys just bought a house right up the road here in Washington, D.C.
Oh, nice.
Remember when we did the piles of cash? This is what $100,000 looked like when we did that visualization. So yeah, we're in a whole different echelon now.
100,000 shockingly looks like more than I thought it would. In my mind, $100,000 looks like one of those stacks. 2 of those stacks.
Now, I want to show you the lifestyles of people who are worth this much money versus this much money. So we've been talking to experts, interviewing people who work with the ultra wealthy to construct real world scenarios of what these people's lives look like, what kind of influence they have in society, to understand what and who they can buy. Oh, and by the way, we're launching a media company. It's called New Press. It's going to be very different than anything you've ever seen. It's going to be about transparency, letting you have insight into our journalistic process and contribute to it. There's already a lot of people on the wait list. If you want to be one of them, go to newpress.com, sign up. You'll be the first to know when it launches and what we're up to. You can even help us design it. That's newpress.com. Okay, that's all. So first up, let's start with $100 million.
Too loud?
My name is Scott. I started a candy company and I grew it over many years, and I eventually sold it to a big, giant candy corporation. And because I started the company, I own most of it, and so I got a huge payout from this sale. Between that and a bunch of other investments over the years, I now
love
have
candy.
a net worth of $100 million.
Okay.
Wow, that's a big number. My primary residence is New York City, where 818 other centimillionaires live. Centimillionaires is like 100 millionaires. I'll show you my New York City house in just a second. But first, let's talk about my fortune and how I can spend it. Now, I can't actually spend my fortune right now because all of it is in the stock market.
Okay.
The upside to that is that it grows and grows. My portfolio grows at 10% every year. So what if I just sell this $10 million return I got this year?
Should have given your money to me to invest for you. I'll be your hedge fund manager. My return this year, based on the Doug stock game, 40%! Oh, Lee, give me 2 and 20 on that one, baby. I'll be in a fucking yacht. God damn. Even Ludwig beats the S&P, bro. Beat your heart out, Aiden. 31.4%. Yikes, bro. And that's with you getting this fucking unreal, the metals company, Bink, 235% return on fucking rare earth metal war between China and America. You called that one, Aiden? You saw that coming? Fucking brilliant. He didn't call it, he caused it. That I do. Aiden's always jet setting around the world causing problems.
Year. This could fund some of my lifestyle. Oh, but look at all these taxes. All in all, it's like 37% of that $10 million. I guess it still leaves me with $6.3 million to spend. And look, I didn't even have to touch my portfolio. I'm still worth $100 million. Wait, is this video just tax calculations? No. Let's go find a house.
Okay.
My budget for a house is...
I'm sorry, I had to pause. Someone said, I'm surprised how much I liked Aiden when I met him. First of all, what does that mean? You thought you'd hate him, that he's a deeply unlikable guy? And then secondly, not like a deep, long meeting. He's a nice, friendly guy, of course, in the first interaction. Aiden's a guy you dislike the more you meet him. You know what I'm saying? At first meeting, he's incredible. You have to find his flaws over time. He hides them.
Anywhere between $8 and $15 million, which sources told us is common at this level. And even though I live in one of the most expensive and crowded cities on Earth, with my budget, I can find a pretty sick house, I think. Okay, let's look around. Boy,
Okay.
there's some nice options here. How about this one? $8.5 million. This nice apartment
Kinda broke,
in
right?
Midtown Manhattan. The listing tells me that this is the epitome of refined living. A superior pre-war white glove cooperative. What does that mean? 4 bedrooms, 4 bath. This sun-kissed airy. This sun-kissed airy is one of the crown jewels of the Tony Enclave. What
How
is
about
it?
that?
Am I reading like a different language? What is the Tony Enclave? I don't know what any of those words mean, sorry. But I do know that it has a semi-private elevator.
Okay.
And it's the perfect setting for alfresco entertaining. And me, $100 millionaire, I am super into alfresco.
I feel like with $8.5 million, you could buy a Dave & Buster's and live in there and not allow anybody but your friends in. Why would you buy this? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what? I don't understand. This is like so classless in comparison. You could play all the games for free. And you could even have like a bartender like still serving drinks.
Entertaining. I mean, this is looking like a pretty great house. It's got this super romantic painting above the mantle. And in addition to my real library, I also get a bathroom that kind of looks like one. By the way, this is only my primary residence, not my...
I mean, on that note, that's kind of a joke answer, what I said. But I do think, so far, the most cool billionaire splurge that I've seen so far is probably Gabe Newell's land party yacht. Like, unironically, I'm like, damn, that is like a fucking cool thing to do with $1 billion. Buying this giant land party yacht and then like having your friends on there to play video games is like, damn, that is really fun sounding. I can't hate too much because like, of course, that would be fucking cool to do. It's got a full basketball court. Gabe Newell's got a full basketball court. Isn't the land party thing misinfo? Is it? Gabe Newell caps off Steam Machine Week by taking delivery of a new $500 million super yacht with a submarine garage, onboard hospital, and 15 gaming PCs. That sounds like a land party yacht to me. It's just the problem is, dude, here's the fucking real problem. Is like, I dreamed of this, not a land party yacht, but like, when I was younger, I was like, damn, if I ever hit the lottery or whatever, I could build like a sick house with a LAN party facility in it, like a bunch of gaming PCs, and my friends come over anytime we could just game. And then, now that I'm an adult, I realize that the problem with that is not getting the PCs. It's that as adults, no one has time. Getting all my old buds together to like take a weekend and play video games is just not gonna happen. That's not... We already do it once a year, and it's not the problem is not the tech of getting the PCs. The problem is just that no one can fucking kick it and grind League of Legends for 18 hours like we used to. Get new friends? Yeah, good idea. I should drop all my friends who are either married or employed and increasingly find only friends that can focus all their time on me and are unemployed as I get older. That's a good idea. I should surround myself with yes men who only want to play video games with me for money. Yeah, that's a really smart. Thank you for your diagnosis.
Only home. I've got a couple vacation homes around the country and the world. This one in Miami, which is increasingly a playground for the ultra-rich, and this one in the south of France. And both of these have full-time housekeepers. Let's talk about my vacations. I visit these houses a couple times a year, but for my other vacations, I'll maybe go to the Hamptons because I love to watch polo. There's this great polo match in July, and I buy a VIP ticket that will cost me only $300.
I heard polo and golf and all these traditionally wealthy sports are dying because even rich Zoomers don't fuck with them at all. Like all the traditional signifiers of sport with wealth, there's like no adoption among the young. The internet addicted, even if they're rich. So they're just dying off. Golf is booming? No, golf is not booming. No, like a bunch of golf courses are shutting down. Golf's not booming. It's not dead, but golf is not booming, dude. A bunch of golf yeah, like there's fucking... Greetings. Yeah, I'm trying to find the full article. There's tons of closures, dude. Tons in 2025. Golf Inc. Golf course supply levels off, course closure expected to continue. They just don't have the demand. They don't have the regular, I mean, maybe at the highest end, but they don't have the demand of people.
Or lately I've been getting into F1, and so maybe I'll go to the race in Monaco. I'll stay at this Hotel Heritage, or no, Hermitage. I'll stay at the Hotel Hermitage, Monte Carlo, for just 22,000 euros a night, which is like $25,000 per night. Okay, let's get to the F1 race.
Golf has never been higher to get tee times. Yeah, because there's fewer supply of courses. It's just a shrinking supply. Obviously, there's still many boomers who will go play fucking golf.
What can I do for you?
But the number of people playing it by generation is dropping dramatically. It's dying. I'm sorry to tell golf heads, your sport is dying. I hate to break it to you. Zoomers do not love golf. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You guys, it's embarrassing. You guys are wrong. It's not. Golf is not thriving nor growing. No, it is not. Oh my God. You are in a bubble. You are in a small group of people that like it. I'm sorry, golf heads, bro. They're closing. All right, well, enjoy, bro. Enjoy.
Monaco Grand Prix is underway.
Jeez. No one told me I needed to bring my swimsuit to the F1 race. I'm feeling a little overdressed. Food's great, chef.
Okay.
Great view. Let's get to the race. I'm planning on watching the F1 race from a private yacht. The ticket was $16,000. And look at the benefits here. I get to walk around in the pit, I get to meet the drivers, and I even get
VIP tenders?
VIP tenders?
Chicken tenders?
Oh, not that kind of tender. Just a fancy boat that brings me out to the yacht.
Well, that's cool.
Anyway, something's bothering me. Remember when I showed you I could sell off the returns that I made this year from my stocks and still come out with millions of dollars of cash to spend? Well, I didn't really like having to sell off all those returns and then have to pay like over 30%.
I don't want to pay taxes.
Me and everyone else you'll see in this video don't like to sell our portfolio, our assets, to get cash, because that triggers all of these taxes.
Yuck.
Gives us less power in the companies we own. Instead, we like to get cash through a bunch of other ways, using our vast fortune. My favorite trick is to go to the bank and to ask for a loan. Wait, what? I'm a super rich guy. Why do I need a loan? Well, let me show you. The bank will loan me a lot of money if I put my huge investment portfolio up for collateral, meaning they can come after it if I don't pay the loan back, or if I default or something. Okay, how much can I get in a loan? Well, according to the bank UBS, I could borrow up to 85% of the value of my investment portfolio, which remember is $100 million. So I could potentially get a loan for $85 million. How
about that?
Another bank, Merrill Lynch, says that they will give at least 50% of the value of your portfolio. But regardless, we're talking tens of millions of dollars that I can borrow and spend. And guess what? I pay zero taxes on this money because it's not income, it's technically debt. Okay, wait, but it's a loan. So I'm accruing interest, right? This isn't free money.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
it's
have to pay
low
it back
interest.
someday and likely have to pay it back with post